All right, it looks like we are once again live. Welcome everybody to Yankees Live Danger to Society Gun Chat, because apparently we are too dangerous to be live on my main channel since we have been relegated to the backup channel here because of a temporary ban over on the other channel. We don't know if it's going to be temporary or not. They said it's indefinite, so we will have to wait and see. But we're live here, and hopefully people can find us. Not very many people find us every day over here. About half, I'd say, probably do. If you've never been here before, it's just conversation between myself and my viewers. It's a place you can come and have conversations with me. You don't have to talk to me. You can talk amongst yourselves over in the live chat. But if you want to talk to me, that's what I'm here for. So you can ask me questions. So you can call me out if you think I'm wrong about something. Feel free. Come on in. I welcome it. Normally, I would say if you want to get to the front of the line as far as asking questions, you can donate to the Pets and Vets Fund through Super Chats, but we can't do Super Chats over here. So I did make a link. I think I already put it at the top, but I'll do it again here just in case. There's the link. Let me pin that to the top. You can go up there and use that link, and you can ask a Super Chat and donate to the Pets and Vets Fund. And those questions will get priority, and hopefully they're good questions, because I try to answer those questions more in depth. So come up with a good question if you do a super chat. You don't have to, but if you want to, do. It helps make me not have to think of stuff to say, and I don't like thinking. It makes my head hurt. Makes me a little dizzy, lightheaded. I don't like it. But feel free to do so if you want. The other way you can support Pets and Vets is go over become a patron. We need patrons over on patreon.com/Yankee Marshall. That's the best way to support the channel. We actually did get one new patron. I want to read their name. We lost one person downgraded. Ezra Ward Mabel became a patron. I think they did the $1 a month and paid in a year in advance, and they got a discount on it. So that's always what I tell people. That's a good thing you can do if you want to make a one-time donation. You can go over and do like $1 or $2 a month, pay the whole year in advance, and then for when we start doing live chats again on the other channel, we're set to go. For all the members only chats. And who else was it? Coty joined as a free member, so maybe someday they'll decide that they want to start contributing. I don't think it says we're back up to 92 people on Subscribestar, but I don't know who signed up. It doesn't say, so I don't know what's going on over there. But thanks to everybody who has done that stuff. Like I said, you can donate via that link over there, or go to PayPal, or go to Patreon if you want to support Pets and Vets. You can go Subscribestar if you want to support TYM Triple P. We'll be announcing the new winners of TYM Triple P here in a few days. If you're the old month's winner, you should have already got your tracking number, got your gun probably even by now. But we'll be doing the announcement on the new ones. If you want to go over and register, go over to tympistolproject.com and register. I'm all over the place today. If you want to support it, you can go over to subscribestar.com/Yankee Marshall and become a member over there. Or you can donate by buying merchandise. Merchandise goes to support TYM Triple P. So go on over there and buy some merchandise. Do I got a link to my merchandise page? Hold on. I think I do. Let me make it to where the link takes it to the new stuff first. New to old. New to old. Okay, there we go. I created a link. I'll put it in over here if anyone wants to go over and look. We sometimes do a drawing at the end of the live chat for a free hat or shirt or small flag. But lately we haven't been getting nearly enough live chats to do that. We would be losing money on the thing, so we haven't been bothering. If we get enough tonight, we will do a drawing at the end and to enter, you have to have done a live chat, super chat, which I mentioned I had to go over PayPal this time. And you got to donate. One entry is $2, 3 entries for $5, 7 entries for $10, and 15 for $20. And you can do 20 if you want to, because it's PayPal. So we're not giving half of it to YouTube. But let's see. Did Dale Rickety figure out how to put a comment in today? No, he didn't. He didn't get it right today. He did donate, but he didn't get a comment in there. Christopher Ramos also donated. And then let's see, did he figure out to put a comment in there? He did not either. He did not put a comment in there. Is that link up there not letting people put comments in tonight? Do I need to try to make another one to see if it will? So last night it was working for everybody. We only had 3 super chats, but all 3 of them, they were able to leave a comment. So, or a question. Let's see. I think Coral just did one. Let's see if it worked. See if he got to leave a message. See if Coral figured it out. Memo, yes. Hey, Yank, my twins are graduating high school in 2 weeks. I don't know what to get them. Thoughts? What did you get your kids? Didn't really get my kids anything for graduation. I don't think I got them anything. But you got to remember, at the time they graduated, both of them were driving cars I was paying for. Well, no, Zyler was not, because Zyler did not have a license yet. But I paid for his college, which he never finished. He's 1 term away from finishing as associate. And I was paying their rent and their utilities and stuff like that. So, and they weren't running off to college anywhere, so I didn't have to give them anything. But both of them have cars I pay for. I pay their insurance because it's so high. Their insurance is $800 a month for just their insurance. And when you add car payments on top of it, I paid double on Zyler's and to try to get his paid off faster. So we're looking at $1,600 a month just for car payments and insurance on the 2 of them. So I didn't get him anything for graduation. Not that I can think of. I think Caden, what we did on his grad, he decided he wanted to trade his car in on something nicer. So we did do that, but it was like specifically a graduation gift. When I was graduating high school, my dad got me a pen, pen and pencil set that you go and you spend $20 for at the, what do you call it? Things Remembered. That's what he got me, a pen and a pencil. Very, very nice. After not supporting me most of my entire life and not really giving me any support as a young adult either, he gave me a pen and pencil when I graduated. I'm a little bitter there, if you can't tell. That'd been one thing if he'd have been, supporting me my whole life and either emotionally or financially and helping with things or being a safety net so that I could go out and try things and fail and succeed. And but he wasn't any of those things. So he got me a pencil and a pen. And it wasn't like he was struggling. I mean, he's always done pretty well for himself. And, he got his kids' cars, the ones from his second wife. I mean, he paid for them to have cars and all that stuff, but nothing for us. And I'm sure when he dies, my sister will get everything and I won't get anything. Would have been my sister and my brother, but my brother passed away. So I'm sure my sister will get everything. But it doesn't bother me. I don't want fucking nothing from him. Where are we? Did I do the whole spiel? I can't remember if I did the spiel. I didn't read if anybody bought any merch today, but I don't know if anybody bought any merch today. Let me go over and see. Philip Davis got some stickers. He got him a couple stickers. I think he paid as much for shipping as he did for the stickers. And is this a new one? Joshua Smith. What is today? Nope, that was from yesterday. That's the pistol in my pants shirt. We saw that. So I don't think there's anything else from today. Is this actually from today? This is from today. Brian Westra got a Not Perfect. I think he's the first person to get the Not Perfect shirt. I think that's the first one we sold. The new Glock one where I drew the picture of the Glock. And people ask me like, what that's not clip art. I don't use clip art. I draw my stuff you see on a shirt. So when you just see a gun, I drew that gun. I didn't just clip art it. I sit down with my own little fingers and my own little pencil and I draw them. Where was I? Let's see. think we got another comment coming in. Let's see if they figured out how to use. Well, it's Tim Fasalami. Let's see. This is questionable. No comment, he said in the memo. So he figured it out. He got, like I said, if Dale Rickety, well, he didn't do it today. He did it yesterday, but he didn't do it today. So he forgot. But that's on. Well, he's going through a lot right now. Apparently, he had a major lifestyle change. We all learned something new about Dale Rickety during the pre-chat here earlier. But you know, that's fine. His age, you do whatever makes you happy. You got to try something new, I guess. I think that does all the pre stuff we need to do. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if you people are just trying to piss me off. Well, I know you're trying to piss me off, but I don't know if you're working together to piss me off or if this was a lone person. But I got an email from Joe B, and he said, hey, he got his first Python that he'd ever bought, which I was like, well, you're kind of a dick, you know, rubbing in my face. You've got a new Python. I didn't get a new Python. And then he sent me the picture of the one he got, and he supposedly got this. So right now I'm like, I sent him an email saying, you better be lying because if you actually did get this and you're the biggest dick I've ever known, not the biggest dick, your biggest jerk I've ever known. I hate you very much so. I spit on your, hopefully live to spit on your grave someday, but I don't know if y'all are fucking with me or what. Before I believe he actually bought this, I think I'm going to need to see a picture of him and the gun and today's newspaper. You know what I mean? Because I think you people are just trying to fucking give me a stroke. Because you want to see me melt down on the air. You know, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction. I'm just going to convince myself that it's not true. But we are going a little late tonight because it was Mother's Day and I've forgotten about that. So we had to go have early dinner. Well, not early for them. They're old as fuck. With the kids' grandparents, Linda and Jim. So, or Sandy, as she calls him. But his name was Jim. I don't know why they call him Sandy. Because my kids did have two Grandpa Jims until a couple months ago. Now they just got the one. All right, let's go over here. Let me put this on live chat so that I don't miss stuff. But I might miss stuff that's already come in, just so you know. Hopefully not. Let's see, where am I at? Can I, as a Patreon member, do extra donations there? No, they don't do that on Patreon for some reason. You can only do what you do per month. That's the only option you have. You can't do tips or anything like that. On Subscribestar, you can do like a tip. Like if you decide, hey, I want to give someone an extra $5 this month, you can go over and do it. Patreon doesn't allow anything like that. They're just not set up for it, I guess. I sent you more emails. YouTube came after Rick too. He says he wants to do a chat with Barry Cooper. He's the ex-drug cop and drug addict who helps clients in drug cases. Well, that would be interesting, I'm betting. I wouldn't mind doing a video with that guy either. I'm welcome these people on my chat all the time. Most people don't want to come on my chat, but open invitation. I saw some of the videos you sent. 545x39 says, I didn't try your PayPal link. I went from the TYM site. Now, if you go from there, it'll be different because that's a different type of link. The one I create for in here supposedly lets you ask a question or make a statement or something. I don't know. Sorry I'm late. I was doing broken iPhone stuff. I don't know what that is either. But you break your iPhone? Don't break your iPhone. I got an iPhone sitting right here. This is not my phone. Well, it is my phone. I paid for it. But it's not hooked to any service. It's just after I switched to my iPhone mini, this is like the Pro Max or something. It's huge. And I got tired of carrying this thing around. I got the iPhone, I think it's the 13 or the 14 mini or 12 or 13 or something like that. Something's in that range. Mini. And I carry that now. I don't even keep a case on it. I just stick it in my pocket because it's so tiny. So putting a case on kind of ruins the fact that it's so tiny. And I just kept this one because I had already paid it off. So I keep it and I use it like a camera for my videos. I use this to film myself at the range. If I need 2 angles, I can use my own cell phone and this phone. This takes as good a video as my $2,500 camera. In fact, sometimes it's better. Please tell us a story where that pen and pencil signed your first check and you wrote a book and made art with them and made millions with them. No, I don't know what ever happened to them, actually. I think the first time I moved out of the dorms, they got stuck in a box and I never saw them again. They're probably in a box at my mom's house somewhere. Probably up in the attic. Joseph. How do you say this name? Oh, that's Joe B. Hey, Yankee, it's true. I needed a 3-inch python and liked the looks of Altamontes, but you're welcome to shoot it anytime. I do not believe you. I refuse. I reject your reality and replace it with my own, where you're just messing with me, because that is my dream python. I have the 4-inch with the snake on the barrel, but no, I refuse to believe it. Like I said, I'm about to see a picture of the gun with today's newspaper. Well, I don't know where would you get a newspaper? Or they could do a screen capture of this chat with the gun held up in front of it. And then I'd still say it was AI. AI did it. Well, AI is getting good. There's so many pictures on Instagram nowadays that are AI. They're like, usually it's like, oh, proof there's Jesus or blah, blah, blah. But it's like, wow, AI is getting good. Kevin P said, I graduated in 75. You missed it, but go ahead and send me your Colt Python. 75, I couldn't have come to your graduation in 75. I was just a wee baby. I was still shitting in diapers. I think I was probably in the 4th grade or something, but still, don't judge me. Wait, what grade was I in 75? That's probably in the 3rd grade. That's probably like in the 3rd grade. Just a baby. Wait, how old would it have been? No, it might. No, yeah, it would have been. Well, you start 1st grade when you're 6, right? So 6, 7, 8. Then, yeah, I might have been in 4th grade. I don't know. I probably would have been going into 4th grade. I did not like 4th grade. 5th grade was the hardest grade because 5th grade is when my grandmother died. That's what I was raised by when I was young, was my grandmother. So it was like I lost my mom. Engraved gun with factory ported barrel. You got a new gun. That's actually kind of cute. I'm not even mad at him for getting this because it's kind of cute. Look at that. It's got a little bunny rabbit on the handles from Ghost Shadow. It's got a little bunny rabbit. How could you not like a little bunny rabbit? I think Turnip ate a bunny yesterday. When he goes out and he comes in, well, sometimes he'll come in and his face is all covered with dirt because he's been digging up eating moles. He eats them when he gets them. Yesterday, I think he caught a bunny because he came in with blood on his forehead. It wasn't his blood, and he wasn't hungry for dinner. So that's sometimes in the summer, that's how we know he's been hunting bunnies, is when he comes in and he's like, no, thanks, I'm full. I'm just going to lay down. And then he'll sleep for hours and won't get up and eat or anything. So pretty sure he ate a bunny yesterday, little bastard. And the way I usually confirm that he's eating a bunny is I'll go down in the backyard to the storage shed and there'll be a bunny head laying there because he usually catches them. He hides behind the storage shed and rushes out and gets them. Then he comes back and lays right by the ramp to the storage building and eats them. And he leaves the head. So I have to fling bunny heads over the hill. Did I ever start reading chats, or have I just been bitching about shit the whole time? I don't think I ever started reading the chats. Let me get over to the chats and start reading them. And we might have enough super chats tonight to do a drawing at the end if we keep going like we're doing now. Where am I at? PayPal did not show a box to comment. I think it did. I just don't think you can see it. I just thought that maybe something more than money this time, but I don't know. They do get a lot as it is. Yeah, I don't give those worthless, don't give those ungrateful bastards, nut bastards or bitches. I don't know if they're bastards or bitches, but either way, bitches works for either. Don't give those ungrateful bitches nothing. Tell them, just be glad you're not getting kicked out of the house. Just boom, get out. Boy, it is almost getting graduation season, isn't it? It's almost summer. Ugh, it's gone, time's flying. Seems like just yesterday Caden graduated. That's like a year ago now. Caden's just, he's working now. He quit Jiffy Lube. He's working at a coffee shop now, and he likes that. He said he didn't like the Jiffy Lube manager. The manager was a dick, and I actually told him to quit Jiffy Lube. So, because the manager said if he called in sick one day, when I told him I needed him to call in sick, family stuff, and I'm like, you get covered family leave, and he's like, the guy was like, if you call in sick, I'll fire you. I was like, no, tell him you just fucking quit. Just don't show up tomorrow. He didn't just show up tomorrow. So fuck that manager. I don't like managers like that. Asshole managers try to work everybody to death. Where was I? A Native American tribe in Maine is using their opioid settlement funds to operate a sweat lodge to treat drug addiction. Well, I hope that's not all they're doing is just a sweat lodge, because sweat lodges don't. It's like they're going in a sauna, except smellier. Rest assured, if I say or do anything piss you off, I'm doing it on my own, not part of a conspiracy, probably. Well, that's what somebody would say if it was part of a conspiracy, though. Sounds exactly like what they'd say. I have to wait 2 more paychecks to order more flags. I get paid every 2 weeks, so it's going to be a bit. Oh, you don't have to order nothing else. Like I said, you order what you want when you want. There's no minimum quota. I should do a minimum where everybody's got to order one thing if they come into the chats, or if you watch my videos. Boy, if everybody watched my videos, if I got like the last real video I put up was, well, I can't look at it here, but wrong thing. I don't know. I think it's around 20,000 views. The one I put up about the Colt Cobra. Did I do that yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday. And that's got about 20,000 views. If every person that watched that video bought a sticker, that'd be almost $30,000, because I make like $1.50 off each of those. If I bought a magnet, that'd be $40,000. If everybody bought a T-shirt, that'd be $200,000. Well, no, that would be $160,000. I make $8 on them now. I used to make 10, make 8 now, because they raised the prices of the shirts, and I didn't change the pricing. But yeah, boy, if they just did that one time, if $160,000 came my way in a day, I don't know when the next time you all see me be. I could live a long time on 160 grand. I could do some years on that. I don't spend a lot of money. I'm not all that fancy. I mean, I do buy my fancy going to town shirts every once in a while. This one's got AT-ATs on it. Got the Imperial Walkers. I messed up and didn't put my full shipping address info for my order. When I went to check the tracking, it shows return to sender for my stickers, and I expect the same thing for my mug. Oh, yeah, if you didn't put your address on properly, that is a bitch. I'll have to look and see. I looked at the evolution of Jim Davis's Garfield, and I like the Garfield from 1990 to 99 best. In 2000, his eyes got too big. Well, I remember the old Garfield, which he was much saggier, droopier kind of looking. And that was the first Garfield I knew. And then he got all rounded off. You know, he got like ping pong ball eyes and round cheeks and everything. He didn't have those at first. I asked the other day why you prefer a 2.5 over a 2-inch for carry. Is there a notable difference in the shooting? How about the ballistics? No, there's not really much noticeable difference, but every little bit of weight helps. So in that case, yes, it does help, but they don't really make a 2-inch Colt Python. And plus, that'd be a little unbalanced to have a larger frame gun like when you look at large frame guns with a 2-inch barrel, like that in frame Smith and Wesson, right there, looks freakishly short, the barrel. Sometimes you don't want to go too short the barrel. On dating apps today, people are stating their preferences for either vaccinated or unvaccinated partners. That sounds crazy to me. Yeah, I don't really care if someone's vaccinated or unvaccinated. What's that got to do with it? It doesn't help me. It doesn't make me any more or less safe. I'm either vaccinated or I'm not. I don't know why I care about what they are. It's just everybody's got to find something to draw a line between. The people just love to draw lines. That's what today's society is about. It's about divisions, because that's how the people in power stay in power. That's how the people who make the money keep making the money, is by dividing people. I made a private video recording of baby ducks with my phone, and I didn't share with anyone. Then my phone asked me if I wanted info on the specific Muscovy ducks in my recording. Well, yeah, because it knows you looked at ducks. Does anyone leave Bible camp with their virginity intact? Well, yeah, the really ugly ones. If you leave Bible camp a virgin, then either you were really ugly or your personality is just, nobody can deal with that. It's a good day. I'm happy. I can't hold back smiles. You are a good guy. Punva. Happy people piss me off. I saw a dead solid gray bunny on the sidewalk outside of my gym. It looked like someone dumped their dead pet there. It was probably a wild bunny, if I would guess. But I saw a couple of dead bunnies today. There was a crow eating a dead bunny in the road down at the bottom of the hill. Eating that poor little dead bunny. Poor dead bunny didn't make it across the road. Seriously, PayPal closed my account. How do I donate to you? Well, you can still donate through that PayPal link. You just don't have to use PayPal. You can use your debit card. The real-life superhero team called Extreme Justice League is still fighting crime in San Diego. They got their work cut out for them with the illegal border crossings. Is that what causes most of the crime in San Diego? I'm not really up on the crime in San Diego. I know Carmen, San Diego. I always liked San Diego. I love the weather there, but I'm not really up on the crime rates there. Let's see. Now I'm getting the Inspector Gadget theme in my head again. I didn't start off with it. I just worked around to the Inspector Gadget theme. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. I ordered the Give a Hoot shirt on Thursday. I can't wait till it arrives so I can wear it out in public. I finally bought a new phone after 2 years. Got a Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. I think that's what my son has, a Galaxy Ultra thing or something like that. He's got the big Galaxy phone. He likes Android. He doesn't like iPhone. I would not have an iPhone if it wasn't for one thing. Since this is an Apple, it's an iMac, and what I draw on is an iPad, with my iPencil or whatever that thing's called, Apple Pencil or whatever. If my phone has to be Apple too, so everything will intermingle. So I don't have to carry my phone with me in the daytime. If someone text messages me, it comes through on my computer. So because it all connects. And if I do something out here, like I make a drawing or something out here and I save it to my files, my photos file, I can, when I go inside, I can access it through there too. It was much needed because the phone I just got rid of had cracks in the screen. That's so ghetto. I hate when people have cracks. Everybody in my fucking family back in West Virginia has cracks in their phones because they're fucking hillbilly ghetto bitches. I swear to God. I did buy an iPhone Pro Max for my cousin-in-law's kids when they visited. I let them each choose a gift that they wanted for Christmas. It wasn't Christmas yet, but I let them choose a gift they wanted for Christmas. And I said, this is going to be your Christmas present. One of them chose an electric keyboard and one of them chose an iPhone. He wanted a new phone because he had a really crappy old phone. It was like garbagey old phone. So I got him the new iPhone. We got an order over on the website. What did we get? Someone ordered a TYMP flag. That's got my face on it, or at least my face 25 years ago. Who was it ordered that? It was Jacoby Crows. Jacoby Crows. That was Jacoby Crows. Jacoby Crows. Jacoby. And Chris Snyder did a super chat. At least, whoops, I think he did. Let me see if I can get it to load. It's doing that. Won't give me details. I got to sign out, sign back in, and then hopefully it'll let me see stuff again. Well, it didn't. Let me sign in. Come on, sign in. Oh, I watched a crappy werewolf movie last night. By the way, I mean, it wasn't the worst werewolf movie I'd ever seen, but there was just not nearly enough werewolf in it. It could have used a lot more werewolf. And I can't remember what it was called. Oof, what was that? Chris Snyder did not do a chat. He didn't put anything in the chat section. What was the name of that movie I saw last night? Well, I can't. As a guy, he's an artist and he becomes a werewolf, but the show ends up being way too much about his bullshit family issues that happened because he became a werewolf and his issues with his father-in-law and all this other stuff, who's a developer and blah, blah, blah. And he didn't like the fact of the environmental studies and all this other stuff. And it was just very convoluted. And the werewolf parts were very few and far between. And then he turned into more of a classic Wolfman type werewolf. Yet then at the end, you get to see where he became a werewolf and how because he couldn't remember. But you get to look back. He finally remembers the night he became a werewolf. And he goes outside to look and he sees the werewolf. A fucking werewolf that looks like a real werewolf, like a werewolf, not a Wolfman werewolf. And I'm like, well, then why does that one look like a full-on werewolf and he looks like a fucking Lon Chaney werewolf? So, I'm not sure. I can't remember what the name of it was. But I just saw it last night. I had to pay $7 to see it. Where was I? What kind of security cameras do you use? I have Arlo and I'm looking to upgrade. I use Blink. I found that they had the most battery life. There's cameras I put out year and a half ago that I haven't changed the battery in. I definitely haven't changed the batteries in any of the ones that are that they all have rechargeable batteries, but I haven't changed any of the ones. Like the one on the front of my garage right here, I didn't wire it in. It's just battery powered. Never have replaced the battery on it since we put it up. And it isn't even giving me a low battery warning yet, light yet. And the ones that I have out, like in the ones out in the tree out here, and the ones on the side and back of the house that have their own little solar panel, those are still at 100% power. But Blink is what they were called. If I was part of a conspiracy to piss you off, it would have to be fucking amusing. Well, I think giving me a stroke is amusing, don't you think? I'm getting a headache now thinking about it. Do you remember the Scooby-Doo movie cartoon shorts before release said Shaggy was a vegetarian? What a bunch of Shaggy's not a vegetarian. Have you ever seen how many hot dogs and hamburgers and sandwiches, club sandwiches and stuff he ate in the comics? He's not a vegetarian. That doesn't mean he didn't become a vegetarian, because nobody was born a vegetarian, I don't think. It's just something you either decide at some point in your life or maybe have forced upon you. It's kind of like virginity. Some people choose to stay virgins and some people have it forced upon them. I remember back in the 70s, I knew a kid whose family was vegetarian, and he would come over to my house whenever they visited his grandmother who lived down the street from us. And every time he came over to our house, he just ate whatever he wanted to eat, because they didn't let him have sugar. They didn't let him have meat. And so it was always, he loved Peeps, because they always visited at Easter. He'd come down and I'd give him some of my Peeps and he would freak out. He loved those things. Which, who doesn't love Peeps? They're the perfect food. They're sugar coated with sugar. So, because they're marshmallows coated in sugar. And as long as they're not the pink ones, I can't eat the pink ones, because the iodine, I'm iodine sensitive. I can taste the iodine. All I can taste is the iodine in the pink dye, so I can't eat those ones. So it's got to be the yellow ones. I can eat the blue ones, but I prefer the yellow ones. And I like the bunnies better than the chickies, because with the bunnies, you can bite off the ears and then the head and then the body. And 3 is my number. I love the number 3. I like to do things in 3s. Like, I'll count my steps in 3s. I'll eat things in, like, if I get a donut, like a cookie, I'll eat it in 3 bites, things like that. It's just something I've always done. It's part of my autism. Luckily, I'm not nowhere like my brother. My brother is very autistic. He's functional, but, well, not really functional. Not functional in society, but functional as in he can pretty much take care of himself. Now, he can't, like, support himself, but he can take care of himself. Where I live, red-shouldered hawks prey on pigeons. I unintentionally startled one of these hawks, and it dropped a decapitated pigeon at my feet. Poor little pigeon. I remember one day I was out in the front yard, and I was seeing the pigeons. There are pigeons out in our driveway and out on the power lines, and I was watching the pigeons, and one of them took off, and boom, a little streak and a puff of feathers, and it was a hawk had got him, and he landed in my neighbor's yard with him, and then he flew off with him. I was like, God damn, that's fast. It just looked like, what it looked like to the naked eye was like that the pigeon took off flying, and then it was struck by a faster than your eye can follow missile and exploded into a bunch of feathers. But really, he got taken over into the neighbor's yard and killed. He killed him good. I've always wondered if Scooby Snacks are dog treats or human treats. Well, I think they must be both, because they both won. So I was always thinking there's something like, I always remember those chicken biscuits, those little chicken biscuits things. I always pretended those were Scooby Snacks. I love those little chicken biscuits things. And I have some Scooby Snacks in the house. Got a box of unopened Scooby Snacks. I bet they're stale by now, but I've had them for probably 30 years. Let's see where I'm at here. I did chat I put I don't have time to chat, just listening. It didn't show up. Let's see if it showed up. See if Jason Thompson put a chat in. See, Jason Thompson did it just fine. He said, "There's a lot of bootlickers in my company. They think DOT cops are our friends. Pure brainwashed sheep." Well, yeah, cops are not your friends. You're the enemy. And not only are you the enemy, but they are promoted and rewarded in direct proportion to how many of you they victimize. Do you like to eat at Bob Evans or Cracker Barrel? I've never, ever, once ever, I don't think ever even seen a Cracker Barrel, much less ever eaten at one. Now, Bob Evans, I used to live, the Bob Evans farm in Ohio. That's very close to where I grew up. So went over there all the time. I remember going over there for the Bob Evans farm days, and they'd have chicken launching contests where they'd launch chickens out of cannons and stuff, see which one could fly. They actually launched them out of like a mailboxy looking thing, then see which one could fly the furthest. But used to go there all the time. Oh, he took pictures of his Miata with the Northern Lights. Phenomenal snowman. Where's my shared window? Let's see, there you go. His Miata. No, he's not a girl. He's actually a guy. Well, still think he's a guy right now. No, Miatas are not girls' cars. Miatas are super cool. People that say Miatas are for women just don't understand what a true Roadster is. The Miata is the last car on the market that's actually a true, in my opinion, Roadster. One of the homage to a true sports car, original sports cars. Although I see that Toyota is possibly coming out with a direct competitor for it. And I'll be anxious to see that. Although, if I was going to get one, I might just get the Miata. If you were an actor in a werewolf movie, would you want to play the werewolf or the werewolf slayer? Well, of course, the werewolf slayer. Werewolves don't get the best lines. They just go, well, I'd probably be better at that. You all see me record videos. So that I'd probably be better at getting the words right on that. But I'd rather be the slayer, of course. Depends on which role paid more. At the University of Washington, Antifa members brutally attacked reporter Jonathan Cho. He has a video recording campus He was video recording campus protest. Yeah, you go those things, you run the risk of being attacked. It's just a reality of the things, unfortunately, because there's always bad elements around. You try to be, well, I don't know from what I hear, he's kind of an agitator, but you go anywhere like that, and you try to be like, hey, I want to be an impartial observer. I want to be a supporter of your right to protest, etc. But there's always some shitbags in the crowd. And then after everybody else that has jobs goes home, that's all you have left is the shitbags. That's why those things always degrade into violence. It's always like, oh, it was good for all day, and then suddenly erupted in violence. It's because about 7 or 8 o'clock, everybody went home that has real lives and just left all the animals there. What do you like better, Peeps or Cadbury eggs? Well, Peeps by far. I don't like Cadbury eggs. I don't know what that shit is in there. I don't want that. You've had the Mustang, Camaro, and a Challenger. Why not a Corvette? Because I don't fit in a Corvette. Since you change cars so often, what do you think about leasing cars? Well, they don't let you lease cars for a year. So when you get a lease, you're tied into a 3-year deal, and I don't usually know if I want to keep a car 3 years. So I have never done leases. And I've always been very lucky on getting back my money on cars when I trade them back in. So get back almost everything I put into them sometimes. But yeah, I just don't fit in the Camaros. Not the Camaros, the Corvettes. I rented a Corvette in Las Vegas. And not only people bitch about the visibility of a Camaro, got in that Corvette, and the first driveway I went into was one of those that you pull up into it and it curves as you're pulling in. Well, as soon as my front wheel started going up, I couldn't see shit. I didn't know where the walls were, where the road was. No, I couldn't even see the people standing in front of the building anymore. I was like, yeah, this is going back. This is going back to the fucking rental place. And I traded it in, and I can't remember what I got instead. This was before I knew how to use. This was a year before I knew how to use Uber, because Marco, a couple of shot shows ago, taught me how to use Uber. I didn't know how to use Uber. I never used Uber. All that newfangled bullshit. Now I use Uber app now mostly for things like, my sister's like, oh, the Max is broken. Can you come get me and take me home from work? I'm like, no, I'll get you an Uber. I'm going to drive all the way to get there over there to take you home, and then drive all the way back, spend $30 in gas when I could just spend $10 on an Uber to get you home and take up 2 hours of my day. You ever had a Chevelle? I had a 71 Chevelle back in the day. Long time ago. I've lost my place. I went too far down, I think. Just so you know, the Miata is the best Aurora view and road trip car. Drove up to Priest Lake to see the Aurora. Pretty cool. Send pics. Yeah, I just saw that. Years ago, a red-tailed hawk flew directly at my car's windshield, and it died instantly because the impact broke its neck. Well, thanks for being a real upper in the conversation. Have you ever heard of Asian bear farming? Never heard of it. Ungodly suffering. Bear lives in cages that doesn't allow them to move. They are starved and spend decades being drained of their bile. I don't know why they would do that. The Asians are fucking awesome when it comes to being the worst people in the world. When people always ask me, if you could wipe out any continent, any country, and they just disappeared, every person. Well, I can't even do that, to be honest, because whenever someone says that to me, I always think, if I could just wipe out every person in one country, I start thinking, well, what about their pets? What if there's pets that are indoors and people just all disappear? Well, who's going to save the pets? So I usually have to end up settling for like, all right, well, we'll kill all the men over the age of 17. That'll pretty much slowly wipe out their country. But and make all the women infertile. And then I usually end up with we'll just make everybody sterile in a country, because I'm like, well, because then how those women are all going to care for all those pets? So it would be China, because they're responsible for like 90% of the world's poaching and torturing of animals, etc. Japan is bad about, I don't know what it is against dolphins, but they fucking hate whales and dolphins. The road around the lake is super twisty and abandoned. Third and fourth gear around 5,000 to 6,000 RPMs. A blast to drive around through there. Well, yeah, those are fun. If you could go back in time, would you? You mean, well, like to yesterday? Or do you mean further? I wish I could go back to yesterday, knowing that what I know now about what was wrong with my furnace, because I could have just went and bought the parts for like $50 and fixed it, because it was the transformer had burnt out. Because there was a short came back from the temperature sensor and shorted out the transformer, and that's why the furnace wasn't working. And I could have bought the part for like $50 instead of paying $500 to have someone come diagnose it and fix it. If I'd known that yesterday, could have saved some money. Possibly do a fundraiser for bear rescue. There are videos on YouTube showing the practice of farming. Well, I don't know how we stop something in China. We're not going to be able to stop something that's happening in China. A group of anti-Israel protesters just blocked the entrance to Disney World in Florida. State and local police were able to clean them out in under an hour. Well, that's still too long. Should not take that long. I am eating chicken and a biscuit right now. I love those little chicken and a biscuit Those are awesome. I love them. I can sit and eat a whole box of them. Easy. As long as I got something to drink so don't get all dry mouth. You sit and eat a box of crackers without something to drink, you're going then try to whistle. No gas, no furnace. You may have a heat pump. I have a heat pump. We have 2 heat pumps. Well, we have 3 systems. We have a split system out here. And the actual heat pump is up on the roof here. And it runs this one, the one in the gym, and the one in my son's bedroom. And then we have 2 different heat pumps for the house. One for the living room areas and one for the sleeping areas. Oof, and to replace them, they gave me an estimate on replacing those systems completely, and it's like 11 grand. I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not have to replace them right now because I can't afford 11 grand. I have to do a home equity or something, or take money out of our savings, our retirement account. I don't want to do that. We got no questions coming in right now. Looks like we're done. How far along are we? Only got 9 minutes left. Oof. Where are we at? The replacement price is good. What? Oh, you mean it's a good price? Well, that's to replace 2 systems. So, because you got to remember, our systems were put in 27. So that's how many years ago? That's what? Or no, they were put in 97. So that's 27 years ago. So they're 27 years old, the system. Now, I've had the outside units refurbished, had them like go in and have them replace parts and wiring and everything. So I don't think they're as old as they say, but I bought a wheel gun today, a Dan Wesson 357 with 6-inch barrel. It is my first revolver, and now I have a proper classic. Yes, that is a proper classic. But fuck you for getting the new gun when I didn't get one. I didn't get one. Joe B says he got a 3-inch Python engraved one. I don't believe him. I think he's trying to drive me crazy. Have you heard about the global nitrocellulose shortage? Thoughts on it? I don't even know what nitrocellulose is. Not a demolitions expert or anything like that. Is there a shortage? Euro shortage. Let's see. Is there a huge shortage? I really don't see much about a shortage of it. I know it's used in making gunpowder, but I keep hearing every year that, oh, there's a gunpowder shortage coming, but it never happens. So I'm not sure how much of it's real. I guess it's because of like all the ammunition being used by in Ukraine and in Israel. It's probably like just a temporary demand thing, not like, oh my God, there's not enough of it around and we're going to be without it forever. Probably just like a temporary demand thing because of because you got to remember they're using a lot of conventional fucking like shells and mortars and all that crap. So it's been used up. But those things these shortages are usually very short term and temporary. And a lot of the major gun manufacturers are bought like 5 years ahead in their supplies because of things like this. So I've never seen it really make every time there's a war or something, they talk about this. And I've never seen it make a huge, of course, every ammo company will use that as an excuse to double their prices. Nitrocellulose is the main ingredient for nearly all gunpowders. Yes, well, we knew it was for gunpowder. I just don't know what the fuck it is. I didn't know why there's a shortage of it. And I don't know if you ask me, like, what's the chemical components of nitro? I would not fucking know. Like I said, I don't even know what it is. I just know I know they use it in gunpowder. That's why I say I'm not a demolitions expert. Nitrose is the key ingredient in smokeless gunpowder. Vista Outdoors said something about stopping powder sales to civilian market or something. So in other words, one company says something and people are freaking out. Like I say, they do that every time there's a battle, like a prolonged, like when the Gulf War first started. Same thing. There was, there's going to be massive gunpowder shortages, but the manufacturers were bought up enough in advance that they were able to wait out the shortage. But I mean, we'll see if it happens. I'm glad I stocked up on ammo if it does happen. But I ain't going to be freaking out about a couple little bits of news that I've heard before and never comes to nothing. I sent an email with my order info. I can't believe I forgot to put my apartment number in when placing order. Yeah, I'll look at the order and see what we can do. But chemistry was my most hated subject in school. Yeah, it was mine too. I hated chemistry. That's why I don't know any of these things like that. Hated chemistry. I had to take it in college for some reason. For some reason, for a psychology degree, chemistry was required. If I had to take it, and I didn't like it. I dropped out of it the first time I took it. I dropped out, and I almost got a dropped out failing. But I talked to the instructor since I was military, into letting me just drop out passing. So that was almost a failing mark on my grade. That would have really hurt my GPA because I had like all A's other than that. I mean, I've always been a 4.0 student, and I didn't want to get that. But chemistry, I didn't like it. It's just all memorization, and I didn't have time to memorize all that shit. I had other things going on. I was trying to get laid. Did you see on the news the airman that was killed by a cop in his apartment, justified or not? I've seen people talking about it, and I finally saw the clip. I didn't mean to. It just was in one of my feeds. And no, not justified at all. Completely unjustified. The cop's an asshole. For one, he was at the wrong building. Two, he knocks and then steps off to the side where the guy can't see him. And then when the guy comes with the gun, his gun is held down to the side behind him, like he's clearly not wanting to point it at anyone. And the cop overreacts and shoots him. So the cop should go to jail. Nitrocellulose is also used to make COVID tests. Well, I don't need any COVID tests. I can go to the doctor for that. Some jerk in New York City randomly punched Steve Buscemi. The same thing happened to Rick Moranis. Maybe they're just going around punching dorky looking people. I think that must be what's happening. Someone's got an anti-dork thing. Bias. Steve Buscemi was a good actor. I think he still is. I don't think he's dead. But, well, yeah, you have to be good. I mean, if you look like him and you actually succeed in Hollywood, you got to be good because he's one of the ugliest fucking people in the world. He's horribly ugly, uglier than anyone has a right to be. And he's funny and stuff that he's supposed to be funny in. He's funny. Stuff that he's supposed to be serious in. He's good. So, I mean, I like him, even though it's hard to look at. Where am I at? Do as you order, add acid to water so you don't burn yourself. He was good in Sopranos. That's the only thing I've seen him in. I've never seen The Sopranos. Never seen an episode of that show. And it was on HBO, right? I think because I had HBO because I always had HBO for Game of Thrones and stuff, but I never watched Sopranos. I'm not much into dramas. I'm not much into if it doesn't have dragons or magic or aliens or stuff. I'm usually not that, or monsters. I'm not usually that interested. They're like, oh, this is a real life story. I'm like, well, that's just like telling me this is boring and I'm not interested because real life sucks. Which is better, HKUSP 40 or HKP 2040? The P2040 by far. It's not even a comparison. P2000, much better gun. The Sopranos had a long slide Beretta M9 in the logo. You're not a true Beretta fan. I don't have to watch a show just because of Berettas in it, because usually they misuse the guns, present them in ways that isn't realistic, etc. Anyway, so what else was it? Die Hard. He had a Beretta. I've never seen Die Hard. No, not Die Hard. What's the other one? I never have watched all of Die Hard either, but I've seen parts of it because my friends loved it when I was in college and in the Army. But what's that one other one? The one with Mel Gibson, where he carries a Beretta. Oh, it's got Danny Glover in it. I remember the posters. I remember he had a Beretta. Lethal Weapon. Yeah, that's it. Lethal Weapon. I've never seen that either, or any of the sequels. Where am I at? I think we're out of time. I think we're all, speaking of Die Hard, how was the newest season of Rick and Morty? Haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Did you watch the Fallout TV show? I don't remember if we watched all of Rick and Morty or not. I remember not loving it and the voices being off. But other than that, I mean, it was fine. But we did watch all of Fallout, and I enjoyed Fallout. I didn't know anything about it because I've never played the video games. The only thing I know about the video game is there's a version that happens in West Virginia, and there is part of the game where you can go into Camden Park, but it's all run down and deserted. And I love Camden Park as a kid, so it was kind of very nostalgic to be able to see that. I remember all those things that they're showing you. The DOJ is seeking a 40-year prison sentence for the perp that hit Paul Pelosi with a hammer. That seems a little extreme. 40 years? Well, I guess not for assault and battery and attempted murder, but still. Surprised he won't get off. And he'll probably end up doing a couple of years, probably some mental health counseling and mental health residency stuff. And I don't think he'll be in jail for 40 years. But we're out of time. So thanks everybody for coming. Sorry for the late chat tonight, but like I said, I forgot that it was Mother's Day. I haven't even called my own mother. I need to. But thanks everyone. I appreciate you coming. I appreciate everybody does everything for the channel, especially those of you that support the channel through Patreon, Subscribe Star, buying merchandise. Remember, we got the new Glock design over there. Not perfect, but close enough. If you want to get that one, I've sold one of them so far. I appreciate everything y'all do financially for the channel, especially now while YouTube's trying to get rid of us. Even the people who just support the channel by watching the videos, thumbing up the videos, or hopefully sharing them on social media, do that. If you're on Facebook, join my Facebook page, become a follower, and share the videos I put over there. I'll see y'all again tomorrow. Until then, remember, always carry and stay safe until I see you again.